Most of us have this idea that mindfulness is some kind of expert-level skill, right? Something that requires hours on a meditation cushion. But what if I told you that you're probably already practicing it every single day in these small, powerful ways you don't even notice?
I mean, if you've ever felt this way, you are so not alone. So many of us try to meditate, our mind wanders off for the thousandth time, and we just think, I'm just terrible at this. It can feel like this test. You're always failing, and it's super frustrating. But here's the thing. That feeling is based on a huge misunderstanding of what mindfulness even is. And this is the absolute heart of it. The goal was never to have a totally blank mind. I mean, that's not really human, is it? The real practice, the real mental workout, happens in that moment you realize, oh, hey, I'm thinking about my to-do list, and you gently guide your attention back. That act of returning, that is the exercise.
Okay, so now that we've busted that myth, let's dive into the first sign that you're already doing this. This is all about the little things you notice in the world around you, maybe without even trying.
Turns out, your brain might be doing this automatically. It's called sensory awareness, and it's basically your brain's built-in superpower for pulling you out of worries about the future or regrets about the past and grounding you right here, right now, using your senses.
So do any of these sound familiar to you? Have you ever just kind of noticed the feeling of your sweater on your skin? Or maybe you've heard a bird chirping way off in the distance when no one else did. If you find yourself picking up on these tiny details, that's not just random. That is your brain actively doing a core part of mindfulness.
Okay, on to our second sign. This one moves from the outside world to our inner world. And it's not about getting rid of tough emotions, but completely changing how you relate to them. This is such a critical point. Being mindful doesn't mean you become a robot who never feels angry or sad. That's impossible. What really matters is what you do in that little bit of space between feeling an emotion and acting on it.
So, have you ever been in a really tense conversation and you can literally feel your heart start to race? But instead of just reacting, you just notice it. Or maybe you felt a wave of anxiety wash over you and you had the thought, okay, I'm feeling anxiety right now. That simple act of just noticing and naming the feeling without letting it totally take over, that's a seriously powerful mindfulness skill.
There's actually a pretty cool term for this, meta-awareness. It's like being able to step back and watch the weather report of your own mind. You see the storm clouds of anger rolling in, and you just watch them, knowing they'll eventually roll out again, all without getting caught in the downpour. If you can do that, you are already practicing at a really high level.
All right, let's get to sign number 3. Now, this one is all about how we show up for other people. And honestly, it's a type of mindfulness that's getting rarer and rarer in our super distracted world.
Think about a normal conversation. How often are we really listening versus just kind of waiting for our turn to speak? Relational mindfulness is what happens when you quiet that voice in your head that's busy cooking up the perfect reply, and instead, you just give someone your full, undivided attention.
Are you the person who notices when a friend's smile doesn't quite reach their eyes? Do you ask those little follow-up questions that show you were actually paying attention? Or, and this is a big one, can you just be comfortable with a bit of silence and not feel that frantic need to fill it? These are all signs of a deep, mindful listener, and it's one of the greatest gifts you can give someone.
Okay, let's talk about sign number 4. This is where mindfulness gets really practical. It's where it leaves the therapy room and shows up in your kitchen, on your commute, or while you're doing laundry. It's all about finding that presence in the most ordinary moments.
I just love this idea of micro-meditations. It completely reframes boring chores into these little opportunities for mindfulness. It's not about zoning out while you do them. It's the exact opposite. It's about zooming in on the sensory details of a really simple task.
Do you ever get that kind of weird satisfaction from the simple feeling of warm water on your hands while doing the dishes? Or maybe you actually enjoy your walk to the store more without headphones, just taking in all the sounds and sights. These aren't just little quirks. They are genuine moments of deep, embodied presence.
And that brings us to our 5th and final sign. And honestly, this one is probably the most important of them all. It really brings us full circle, right back to that huge misconception we talked about at the very beginning. So what was that one big idea that trips pretty much everyone up when they start?
It's this impossible standard, right? That you're supposed to achieve this perfectly silent, empty mind. But as we've already figured out, that was never, ever the goal.
Because in reality, the true practice, the whole point of the exercise, is in the return.
That moment, you realize your mind has wandered off and you just gently guide it back, without beating yourself up about it. That is the entire foundation of mindfulness. That gentle, kind redirection, that's the whole skill. If you do that even once, you are, by definition, practicing.
So what's your next step? It's actually super simple. Just amplify what you're already doing. The next time you notice a small detail, just pause for an extra second to really take it in. The next time a strong emotion comes up, just watch it for a moment, like it's a cloud passing by. And every single time you catch your mind wandering, just see that as a win. That's a moment of awareness.
The truth is, you are way more mindful than you think you are. You're already using these skills in subtle moments every single day. And learning how to build on these natural strengths, well, that's exactly what we're all about here at Mind in Motion. So if you found this explainer helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I'll leave you with this question to think about. Based on everything we just covered, what's one small, mindful moment that you have already experienced today? Let me know in the comments below. I would genuinely love to see what you come up with. Thanks for watching.